would just like to know how safe this water is. We're entitled to know. I mean, is it dangerous? Should we carry bottled water up here, or what?
Well, that's a good question. We'll leave it on the record to be answered. Yes, sir?
My name is Harold Ballard from El Paso Timberon Community Action Committee. I bought the property here within the last 2 years. I have one question to Mr. Behles based on the the statements today. He says he is the owner of the system and could he shut it down? That question, how does ownership occur in such a circumstance that I've listened to?
Thank you. Well, I will allow it. I will allow this when it's really outside the administrative order per se, but I will allow it under these peculiar circumstances.
Mr. Ballard, the bankruptcy court appointed a trustee when this case was originally filed as a Chapter 11. It was myself, and when it was converted to a Chapter 7, I remained on as the Chapter 7 trustee. The United States Bankruptcy Code, the federal law that governs bankruptcy proceedings, provides that all property of the debtor, in this case Timberon Water Company, automatically vests in the trustee. I guess you would say the legal owner only. My job as Chapter 7 trustee is to liquidate those assets and distribute the money to creditors. My job is to sell the water company and the water system and spread the money around amongst those people, including ourselves, who have claims against Timberon Water Company. The problem with this case is that First National Bank was given a mortgage. The court confirmed that mortgage in the amount of $1.2 million, which is far more than I'm going to be able to sell the system for. So that I don't have the right to sell the system unless the bank consents. And I've cut myself out of the loop. Your water and sanitation district and the bank are negotiating the price that the bank will accept in exchange for a release of their mortgage. I may be the legal owner, but I have no equity and nothing to do with it other than signing a bill of sale once they agree on a price.
As you can see, why I was somewhat hesitant to allow the question to be answered, it is a matter of federal bankruptcy law under these circumstances. Anyway, I guess I'm glad I left it in. Yes, sir.
I'm Gale Legate. I'm a resident of Timberon and I'm director of the Water and Sanitation District. And the comment I want to make for the record will amplify that of Mr. Gamble slightly. I would like to lean on the EPA, particularly Mr. Lutz, to give us, if we obtain the water company, as much assistance as you have available in getting answers to technical questions, logistical questions such as who has had these problems before and how did they solve them, and perhaps even help us obtain engineering studies and engineering drawings that are already in existence. The problem that's been brought up in several of the testimonies here is that the company is short on money. We expect that if we acquire it, it will take a period of somewhere between 5 and 10 years and somewhere between $500,000 and $1 million to rebuild the system so that it can serve up to standard for both health and reliability. But we need to get started immediately, especially on the health questions. And we will need to shorten the usual process for obtaining technical data, engineering studies, and approval. That is to say whether or not our proposed improvements satisfy the requirements of the EPA and the Environment Division of the state of New Mexico. So we will need a lot of logistical help. So I would like to impose on your good graces to use whatever contacts you have or can make available to us.
Technical and logistical help is available. You have Mr. Lutz's address, so contact him. The state's also nearby and can help you because the state, as you know, is operating generally under the same law that EPA is because it's a delegated program back in the late 70s from the EPA to the state of New Mexico. Is there anyone else who would like to testify? Well, there being none, let me close by reminding you that EPA is bound also to consider everything very carefully, the testimony, the circumstances, and it is bound to either issue the proposed order as proposed, modify and propose it, or change it depending on the testimony and the circumstances of this case. EPA's time only says reasonable time. The EPA must make a decision. And again, I repeat, I'm sorry, that the standard of the law is a reasonable time under the circumstances. We will operate under that. Again, thank you very much for coming. I would encourage any of you who still wish to discuss something with us or among each other or with the trustee or with the chairman, please do so. We will be around here for several minutes if you need to just at arm's length discuss matters with us. Again, thank you very much. It's 3:53 on the afternoon of April the 12th, 1993, and I will bring this hearing to a close. We will go off the record. Thank you.